Hello, and welcome to the Authentically Elisa podcast, Unmasking Your True Self. I'm Elisa Bogarts, your guide on this journey to discovering the most genuine version of yourself. Each episode is a step towards unveiling the incredible power that lies within you as we strip away all the shoulds and shine a light on the coulds. Together, we'll explore the path of self-empowerment, self-confidence, and the courage to be unapologetically you. Thank you for being here. All right, let's dive into today's episode. Today, we're going to be talking about making your digital products accessible. And I have an amazing guest with me, Danielle Stephens. And Danielle is a digital accessibility tester and consultant. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm so glad to have you here.
Yeah.
So Danielle really wants to help women entrepreneurs to make their digital projects and services accessible for the visually impaired community, so that they can increase their profits and build authentic relationships with the blind community. She also has a passion for AI and wants to help AI developers and other AI enthusiasts to design AI tools and services that are accessible. And I think this is such important work. Thank you so much for doing this. I think it's something that people can kind of either forget to do or just sort of assume that the whatever platform they're on does it for them.
Yep.
So, and that's just not the case.
No, it's not.
No, yeah. So something we need to start paying attention to. So, yeah, tell me how you got into this field of work and just
Yeah,
why it's your
so
passion.
I've been visually impaired all my life. But I've been a techie pretty much since I can remember, since I was in like second grade. I've always had a love for computers and technology. And funny enough, when I was in college, I did not major in computer science or anything. I actually majored in uh still in the helping field, but in family and child sciences, and I minored in social work and education. So I always knew that tech could be a part of my life, but I kind of thought it would be from the instructor side. So maybe doing something, in the educational technology space or something like that. However, when COVID hit, I had to pivot like everybody else. And I um, was like, man, like I have this passion for tech and like accessibility. And I was talking to some friends and they was like, hey, there's this place called Make It Fable, and they hire people with disabilities to test websites and apps and do user interviews and all these things for companies like Microsoft and Google and and they was like, hey, you should try it out, right? You should apply. So I did. And as a result, I've been with them for about 3 years. But as that has happened, I've been able to uh, branch out and to talk to different people on social audio apps like Clubhouse and most recently in the last year, Chatter Social, um, um, where I realized that, wait a minute, entrepreneurs uh don't really know, like they don't know they have a problem, right? They don't know that um they're in one or two categories. Either they know and they don't know how to do it, or they don't know and they're like, hey, I'm curious. I want to know how to make my stuff accessible. I want my website accessible. And so that was kind of the jumping off part. Like I was in a clubhouse room and somebody said, hey, you should make a business out of helping people with making their digital products accessible because you know so much, right? And I was like, okay, I guess. And so then most recently, I actually just graduated from a program that our local city offered for entrepreneurs with disabilities who either, in my case, they kind of already have a business, or some of them they might be like just starting, just like they have an idea, right? But they don't really have like a concept and everything. So that was also a jumping off point. So like I said, I've always been involved in tech, but just recently, I guess over the past couple of years, decided that, hey, this is what I want to do, and this is who the target market that I feel could best use my services.
Yeah, I think that's so awesome. Especially, there's a lot of solopreneurs or small businesses, entrepreneurs, and things like that. And yeah, you expect accessibility in those bigger companies, even though like they
Yes.
hired people in with you and they did testing and things like that. I
Yep.
remember when I worked for um, Intuit and I worked for MailChimp, they were
Mhm.
like they had a whole accessibility initiative where they were actually like doing interviews and stuff like that to make it
Yes.
better than the way that it was. And so
Yep.
but yeah, entrepreneurs, because usually have sort of a limited budget, or or you got to figure out ways to kind of do that, and sometimes it's not something that's on their radar. So I think that's so
Hmm.
awesome that you are bringing it on their radar and being like, hey, this
Yeah.
is still an important thing to do, everybody needs to do it. And it could increase their
Their
clientele
profit
as
and
well.
grow their
Yeah.
connections. And though, I mean, and with AI now, right, there are ways to do it that are not that expensive, right? Um,
Yeah.
like there's and I won't give too much away, but there is a software out there called Accessibility Insights, and I actually have it's free, and so I can take someone's website and put it in there, and it will give me a report of all the things that's wrong with their, and I think they score it from 1 to 100, right? And
Mhm.
so that is something that I have at my disposal that I can do for free. Uh, of
Pretty
course,
cool.
I'm not going to do it for free but because that's my time. But yeah,
Yeah.
that is part of what I am going to offer people is this
Nice.
accessibility website audit.
Very cool. So tell me, what does running your business with authenticity mean to you?
So it means that not only am I able uh, to help my community and myself, right? Because I'm actually the target market, right? But that I'm able um to bring entrepreneurs and solopreneurs and startups right into my world, right? And let them see that just because I have a disability or I'm differently abled, that I'm able to give them, I'm able to run a business that is not only yes, it's about profit, but for me it's really about building relationships, right? And being able to connect um the entrepreneurs and the potential clients um to other people with disabilities that are visually impaired, right? Because yes, I would use their products, but I know so many people that they would use their products if their website was accessible, right? Or
Mm,
if their membership was accessible, or if they would buy from them if they were if when they went on Facebook and they saw their ad, right? If they knew what the ad was about. And so I just think to me it means that I'm able to build relationships and also build that know like and trust factor. That is huge for me because I know myself, like I'm not going to work with somebody or um be on their podcast or anything if I don't feel that there's a connection. Like, yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah. The connection I think is so key. And yeah, and the good connections that you make with people, that's really how like things can thrive. And that's like, if someone you have a great connection with, you're gonna think of them and refer to them and maybe partner together on things and support each other.
Yeah, and
I
I
love
also feel that collaboration is key, right?
Mhm.
I feel that like and what I've come to realize is that it's okay if if a client comes in and maybe they're not for me, right? But maybe I can refer them to somebody else who might be a better fit for them.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So what does or how do you think that we can reshape business to be more in integrity?
Oh, so for one, I'm looking at like there's so much going on like in the business world with AI, with right, and sometimes I
Yes.
kind of feel that because we can do everything using I sometimes um and I don't feel that in the communities that I'm a part of because I'm a dolphin, right? So I like to help people, right? But one of the things I realize is that I'm starting to realize over the past couple of years is that we are relying so much on the technology that um oh, my AI can do everything, right? Okay, that's great, but I just feel that we can, in order to be more, I guess, to have more integrity, we can still book those one-on-one calls, right? And really find out from people, hey, what do you like, right? Who are you as a person, right? Not just, oh, I want to sell you my product or my service, but hey, what's your favorite football team? Right? What do you like to cook? Right? I just feel that the customer client, the customer um business owner relationship, I feel is kind of missing, right? Because we
Mm,
don't personalize things enough, I feel.
right. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I think about that. Like I'm meet people all the time in different networking events and then we set up like, sort of follow-up calls. And I always go into it where like the idea of maybe there being some connection to a client or maybe they become a client or be a referral or whatever, that's always secondary. I always just go into the meeting and be like, hey, I'm going to meet this awesome person and I want to learn about them and I want to tell them about me and like see where it goes.
Yeah,
It
like
could
I
go
know.
nowhere. It could go somewhere great. Like you have
Yeah,
no idea.
like I know a lot of people, and I have a few friends who, instead of them asking for a one-on-one to sell you their product, they say, no, hey, book a virtual coffee chat with me and let me get to know you first, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's like, and I don't have one of those on my Calendly, but I'm actually thinking about going to create one. Just an hour, like virtual coffee chat where we kind of get to know each other, right? From a personal, like, yes, it's still professional, but I mean, people only work with people that they know, like, and trust, right? So, in order to do that, I feel that it's important. Like they talk about, we always talk about the client avatar, right?
Mhm.
Well, it's always great to know, hey, what types of music do you like? Right? Like, who's your favorite sports team? Like, oh, because you never know how sending that thank you note, right? Or that, um, or, uh, or saying, hey, like I was thinking about you today and I saw this interesting little event and I thought you might, right, want to be a part of it, right?
Right.
Instead
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
just, oh, well,
Yeah. It's a really nice touch, I think. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So let's dive into, how I can make digital products accessible and like, different ways of what things entrepreneurs can do. And I thought we'd actually start with being like, as you were saying earlier, it would be great if they made if their websites were accessible or things like
yes.
that. So what
Mhm.
does that mean? And kind of like,
Yeah.
how does that work? Because like, what if someone doesn't
Okay.
have any idea and they're just like,
Yeah.
what? Like, how would I
So
even begin to do
So
that?
there are several, first of all, there are ways that you can do this like that are not that expensive, right? One thing that I tell people is that um making sure that your links are accessible, right? So for instance, um one of the things that I see all the time on websites is that they they don't bother to like when they have a video on the homepage, they don't bother to have, they have the closed captioning and that's great. But if you had a transcript at the bottom so that somebody like myself can click on it, right? Because maybe I don't have time to listen to a 45-minute video, right? But
Mm.
I can read a transcript, right?
Oh, okay.
And get the
And
same
actually make
type.
that available like on the page?
Yes,
Oh,
like
cool.
at yeah, make that available. Also, making sure that um that and this is a big one, because I actually tried to buy somebody's like purchase somebody's like accelerator. It was a freebie, right? Because they were giving it away at a summit. However, I couldn't because when I went in to buy it, everything was fine, everything was labeled correctly, that was fine. However, when I got to the captcha piece, I was not able to access the captcha because there was no text or audio captcha available. So that
Right.
is something that is huge. Like, I get it about the security of stuff, right? But if you want to be able to make a bigger impact, especially in the disability community, one of the things is to make sure that your captchas either they have like a text where it has like numbers, or it asks you to what is this for, right? What how there's different ways of doing it. Or make sure that if you're gonna have a picture, also have an audio capture so
Mm-hmm.
that I can just click here to listen, or however they do it, right? Or and so that is something that is of most importance. And also PDFs, right? Making sure that they're accessible, right? Making sure that uh that that I'm able to download this without any issues. Also,
When you
um,
say make your PDF accessible, what do you
so
mean by that?
so basically, images, right? Making sure that that if there's going to be pictures in your PDFs, that you have a description, right? That you add like alt tags, right? That you put that they have then they do have in Adobe now, where you can uh use AI to like they have an accessibility checker in Adobe,
Oh,
and
cool.
you can use that tool to see if your PDF is accessible. And if it's not, then it'll help you to make it accessible. So that is something um that I would encourage people to check out. Also, um number one, honestly, I would say if you have the money and if you have the budget, hire somebody like me to help, because although people might think their stuff is accessible, but then somebody like me can come in and say, yes, this is great, but here's how you can improve it,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Here, let me let me beta test your stuff before it launches, so that when it launches, right, you're not getting calls or emails from visually impaired people saying, hey, um, can you help me with can you do you realize that you're on your app, um, none of the buttons are labeled, so I don't know what they are, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
it could be any number of, and some of the things I'm saying, they don't cost anything, because especially now with AI, but not only with AI, a lot of the social media companies now, they have accessibility built into them, and a lot of people just
Yeah.
don't even know to turn it on.
Right. Yeah. Totally. Is go turn it on, people. It's right there. But yeah, you just have to go into your settings to make it happen. Yeah, when you
Mhm.
were talking about the PDFs, I remember I had a client and I was getting, we were doing like she had like a handout. So we are making it an editable PDF.
Yes,
I asked
yes.
my assistant to put in all the different, fields. And I
Mm-hmm.
noticed just the way that she was doing it, like, so she would do it and I would go and test it. And I was
Mm-hmm.
using like the tab feature, right? To tab through the
Mm-hmm.
different
Mm-hmm.
things.
Mm-hmm.
And they were kind of going all over the place because sometimes like it should have gone across the screen, but then the way that she
Yeah,
set
and
them
so
up
that
and
is,
the sequence of the
yep.
numbers, they went more vertical or maybe they kind of hopped
Mm-hmm.
around. And so I had
Yep.
to like reorder them so that it like tabbed through the way that I wanted it to.
Yes.
And I had
Yeah.
accessibility in mind. I was like, or even as
Yeah.
like a user, if I just want to use tab instead of clicking, and as
Yeah.
a person who is, visually impaired, they're going to have to do that because they can't see to
Yeah.
type,
Because
right?
like I remember this one PDF, it said it was fillable, but like I couldn't, but honestly, it was supposed to be fillable, but it wasn't because it was like a workbook.
Mhm.
And what happened was that I guess they didn't they didn't actually label the fields, right? So when before I switched it over to accessible PDF, so I can do that, right?
Mm.
All I heard was edit, edit. I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to put in here?
Right. Yeah. Or text box 33. You're like, that doesn't help.
Yeah,
What text box is this? Yeah.
exactly. Like, what is it? My first name, last name? What is it?
Right. Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah. So you have,
that is
because in the
so
form
cute.
itself, it'll say first name, but then you'll have the
Yes.
box to fill it in, and you want the box to fill it in to be
Yes,
labeled first name,
yes.
not
But
just
if
text
it's
box
not
one.
labeled properly, all you hear is edit, edit, edit. And of course, there are ways with my screen reader that I can, right? I can, because they have different things inside the screen reader softwares that we can do different things, right? They have extensions and whatnot, but it just makes it so much easier if it's if they're if they already if it's pretty much, accessible, it
Yeah.
makes it a lot easier, especially when you're purchasing things, right? One of the things that and right now I have a Calendly, whatever. I'll send you that link because I think, yeah, because before I just made that a few weeks ago, so I'll send you that link so they can actually book with me. Um, but some of these platforms out here are not they're not accessible. And so that is actually part of what I'm going to be offering down the line, like once I scale, right?
Mhm.
Is running workshops, right? To help people to help companies to understand that, you know, making things accessible is not always about a tax credit or
Mm.
a tax write-off, right? It
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be that it doesn't have to be that hard, right? It can be difficult. It can be easy. And it doesn't have to cost you an arm and two legs to make things accessible, especially now
Absolutely.
that AI is available.
Yeah, totally. Oh, well, this has been totally awesome. I've like written a lot of notes and things that be taken away. So like, just even things like, on your website, or if you have a video about, like having the closed captions, but then also making the transcript available for the video,
Yep.
which is super awesome.
Yeah.
We talked about the CAPTCHA thing, the having it both to be like visual and audio. So
Auto.
you have both of
Yes.
those things on.
Yep.
And if you are working with PDFs, make
Mhm.
sure that there's descriptions on the things, that there's tags on them. You want to label your buttons, you want to label your feeds, your
Your
fields,
links,
sorry.
make sure that your
And
links are labeled as well,
right,
right?
yeah, yeah. And also
And you
test it. Like go ahead
Yes,
and like
you
click through
you
things and
want to
see
be
just
able to have somebody like myself to test your stuff, right?
right. Yes,
Because
exactly.
although the software is great, manual testing is still a thing, right? We
Yeah.
haven't gotten to the point where manual testing is that AI does everything. AI is wonderful, but you want to be able to have someone like me to be like, hey, can you test this for me and make sure that, like, and give me some feedback, give me some recommendations on how I can make this better.
Yeah, exactly. So tell us, Danielle, where our listeners can find you online.
Yeah, so I'm on LinkedIn, and like I said, I will send you that as well. I am also on Facebook, and it's just my name on Facebook right now. I haven't switched everything over to the company, like I haven't done all that yet, but I am on Instagram at um FSU Jags 2020 on Instagram. I'm also on a new app called chattersocial.io, and it's an audio app, and it's available in App Store and Android. And it's just a cool place to meet different people and to be able to connect with folks, business rooms, and even if you want to just come hang out, right?
Right.
But
Nice.
um I am also on LinkedIn as well. Danielle Stephens on LinkedIn. And so I
Yeah, we'll
would,
get all these links in the show notes for everybody as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Awesome.
exactly.
Thank you.
No
Do
problem.
you have any final words of wisdom to finish us off here?
Yeah, yeah. I would just tell people to tell entrepreneurs to please connect with the disability community, because we have a lot to offer, and I would really love to connect with with you guys and really be able to help you to make your products and services more accessible, and also to build those relationships, because you never know who you might be missing out on. And as I always say, like, if you're not accessible, you're leaving money on the table. So, yeah, those are my, accessibility is like, content is king. Accessibility is like is gold. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Danielle. This is so great. And there's like learned so much stuff. This was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope it inspired you to live a more authentic life. I'd love your help in inspiring more people to live authentically. So please follow, rate, and leave a review so we can create a ripple effect of authenticity. Until next time, stay true to you, be bold, and thrive on your own terms. This is Elisa, signing off authentically.